Have you ever sat down with a comforting bowl of oatmeal, feeling like you're doing something truly wonderful for your body, only to feel a little off afterward, perhaps a bit bloated, sluggish, or unexpectedly hungry again sooner than you'd like? It's a feeling many of us know. And it can be so confusing. You've chosen oatmeal, the classic health food, lauded for its heart-healthy benefits and fiber-rich goodness. But what if I told you that this very breakfast, intended to nourish and protect you, could actually be sabotaging your health without you even knowing it? Could the simple, everyday additions you've always enjoyed be turning your wholesome oats into something, well, less than ideal, even toxic for your body? It's a painful reality to discover that something you believed in, something you trusted for its goodness, might be working against you. Many of us, myself included, have fallen into this trap, unknowingly turning a health powerhouse into a digestive nightmare or a blood sugar roller coaster. The truth is, while oatmeal itself is a marvel of nutrition, it's often what we combine it with that truly dictates its impact on our bodies, especially as we age. For those of us over 60, our bodies respond differently to certain food combinations, and what once seemed harmless can now trigger discomfort, inflammation, or even hinder our long-term well-being. In this video, we'll uncover 7 common foods that, when mixed with your beloved oatmeal, can surprisingly turn it into a health saboteur. We'll explore why these combinations might be problematic for your digestion, energy levels, and overall vitality. And most importantly, how to avoid these pitfalls without sacrificing taste or convenience. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you, something that could completely change how you view your morning bowl of oats. Let's dive right in and look at the very first common culprit that might be making your oatmeal less than ideal. And ironically, it's often the first thing many of us reach for: excessive sugar and artificial sweeteners. Oatmeal is naturally low in sugar, a blank canvas awaiting your wholesome additions. However, when we pile in spoonfuls of refined white sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup, or even honey in large amounts, especially when combined with quick oats, it can lead to a rapid spike in blood sugar. For people over 60, our bodies are less efficient at managing these spikes, leading to energy crashes that hit hard mid-morning, increased inflammation throughout our system, and over time, contributing to more serious issues like insulin resistance or even type 2 diabetes. And then there are artificial sweeteners. While seemingly a sugar-free alternative, they come with their own set of problems. Many studies are now showing they can disrupt our gut microbiome, that delicate ecosystem of beneficial bacteria that is crucial for everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to immunity and even our mood. Our gut health is even more fragile as we age, so introducing chemicals that throw it off balance can lead to bloating, discomfort, and a host of other issues you definitely don't want. Instead of piling on the sugar, try natural sweetness from whole fruits. A small handful of fresh berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, provides natural sugars along with essential fiber and powerful antioxidants, which work together to slow down sugar absorption, giving you a steady release of energy rather than a sudden jolt. Sliced banana, especially if it's a little ripe, adds a wonderful creamy sweetness and can thicken your oatmeal beautifully, all without the harsh blood sugar roller coaster. If you absolutely need a touch more sweetness, a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or raw honey, used sparingly, is far better than processed sugars or artificial substitutes. Think of it as a garnish, a whisper of sweetness, not a main ingredient. The goal is to appreciate the natural goodness of the oats themselves, perhaps with a dash of cinnamon for warmth, which also has fantastic blood sugar balancing properties. Gradually reduce the amount you add, and you'll find your taste buds adapt beautifully, learning to appreciate less intense sweetness. You might be surprised at how much better you feel, how your energy levels remain steadier throughout the morning, and how that afternoon slump becomes a distant memory simply by making this one small change. Next up, Let's talk about dairy milk, especially high-fat or heavily processed varieties. While milk has been a traditional addition to oatmeal for generations, for many people, particularly as we get older, dairy can surprisingly become a source of significant digestive discomfort. Lactose intolerance, where the body struggles to digest the natural sugar in milk, becomes much more common with age because our bodies naturally produce less of the enzyme lactase. This can lead to uncomfortable bloating, excessive gas, stomach cramps, and a general feeling of malaise shortly after eating, even if you don't experience full-blown lactose intolerance. The proteins in dairy, like casein, can be inflammatory for some individuals, contributing to bothersome joint pain, skin issues like redness or irritation, or just a pervasive feeling of sluggishness that dampens your morning enthusiasm. Processed milks, often ultra-pasteurized, can be even harder on the digestive system, as beneficial enzymes and delicate nutrients might be diminished during the extensive processing. Adding a heavy, high-fat dairy milk to an already fiber-rich meal like oatmeal can also make the entire meal feel incredibly heavy and sit in your stomach for longer, slowing down digestion and making you feel weighed down rather than energized and light. The good news is that there are so many wonderful dairy-free alternatives available today that are much kinder to your digestive system. Consider unsweetened almond milk, which is light and has a neutral taste that pairs beautifully with oats, allowing the flavor of your other additions to shine. Unsweetened soy milk provides a good protein boost. And unsweetened oat milk, yes. Oat milk with oats, for a double dose of oat goodness, can add an extra creamy texture without any of the dairy downsides. Always choose unsweetened varieties to avoid those sneaky hidden sugars. If you enjoy a richer taste, unsweetened coconut milk can be lovely, but use it sparingly as it's naturally higher in saturated fat. Experiment to find what works best for your unique body and taste preferences. Many people report feeling significantly lighter, less bloated, and remarkably more energetic throughout the day when they simply switch from traditional dairy milk to plant-based alternatives in their oatmeal. It's a simple swap, but it can make a profound difference to your morning comfort and your overall well-being. Think about how much better you'd feel starting your day without that heavy, gassy feeling holding you back. Finally, for this section, let's address a seemingly innocent addition: large quantities of dried fruit. Dried fruit often carries a strong health halo because it originated as fresh fruit. However, the drying process fundamentally changes its composition. It concentrates the natural sugars significantly, removing most of the water content. This means a small handful of raisins, cranberries, or chopped dates can contain as much sugar as several servings of fresh fruit, but without the hydrating benefits that fresh fruit provides. When you add a generous portion of dried fruit to your oatmeal, you're essentially adding a large dose of concentrated sugar, which, similar to refined sugar, can lead to unwelcome blood sugar spikes. Furthermore, many commercially dried fruits are unfortunately coated in added sugars, sulfites, or vegetable oils to prevent sticking or to improve their appearance and shelf life, adding even more unwanted ingredients to your supposedly healthy breakfast. The lack of water content in dried fruit also means it's not as satiating as fresh fruit, potentially leading you to eat more without realizing the high sugar intake. For our audience, this can significantly impact blood sugar control, make weight management more challenging, and negatively affect overall metabolic health over time. This doesn't mean you have to ban dried fruit entirely from your kitchen. The key here is moderation and making smart choices. Instead of a large cup of dried cranberries or a huge scoop of raisins, think of dried fruit as a small garnish, perhaps just a tablespoon or two, providing a little concentrated burst of flavor. Better yet, combine it with a generous portion of fresh fruit. For example, instead of a bowl full of raisins, try a small sprinkle of unsweetened raisins alongside a handful of fresh blueberries or a sliced apple. Opt for dried fruits that are explicitly unsweetened and free from added oils or preservatives. You can usually find these in health food stores or the bulk section of your grocery store. A fantastic alternative is to use frozen berries, which thaw beautifully in warm oatmeal and release their natural juices, adding both sweetness and hydration. Or, if you crave that chewy texture, chop a fresh apple or pear into small pieces and let it soften slightly in the warm oats as they cook. This way, you get all the beneficial fiber, the natural sugars, and the crucial water content that helps with digestion and keeps you feeling fuller for longer, all without the sugar overload and potential additives of excessive dried fruit. Now that we've discussed how sugar, dairy, and excessive dried fruit can quietly sabotage your healthy oatmeal, let's move on to some other surprising additions that might be doing more harm than good, and how to make simple, powerful switches for a truly nourishing start to your day. Continuing our journey to transform your oatmeal into a truly health-boosting meal, let's turn our attention to another seemingly innocent addition that often finds its way into our bowls, but might be causing more trouble than it's worth. Certain protein powders, especially those loaded with artificial ingredients or heavy processing. Adding protein powder to oatmeal seems like a smart move. And, in theory, it is. To boost satiety and support muscle health, which is incredibly important for those of us over 60. However, not all protein powders are created equal, and this is where the surprise lies. Many commercial protein powders, especially some whey or casein-based ones, are heavily processed and can contain a long and worrying list of artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, artificial flavors, gums, thickeners, and even synthetic dyes. These additives can be incredibly hard on your digestive system, leading to uncomfortable bloating, embarrassing gas, stomach upset, and systemic inflammation. For an aging gut, which can already be more sensitive and less resilient, introducing these chemical cocktails can disrupt the delicate balance of beneficial gut bacteria, leading to a host of problems far beyond just a grumpy stomach. Some people also find certain types of protein, like heavily processed whey, difficult to digest, regardless of additives, leading to a heavy, uncomfortable feeling that saps your energy. The goal is to add beneficial protein, but not at the expense of your gut health or overall well-being. If you want to boost the protein in your oatmeal, which, again, is an excellent idea for muscle maintenance and satiety, consider whole food sources first. A tablespoon or two of chia seeds or ground flax seeds will add healthy omega-3 fats, plenty of fiber, and a good amount of plant-based protein. Plus, they absorb liquid to create a lovely, creamy texture. A small handful of chopped nuts like almonds, walnuts, or pecans provides healthy fats, fiber, and protein, along with essential minerals. If you still prefer a protein powder, be very selective and discerning. Look for unsweetened, unflavored varieties with an absolute minimal ingredient list. Opt for clean plant-based protein powders, like organic pea protein or brown rice protein. If you prefer animal-based, a grass-fed collagen powder, which is excellent for joint and gut health, or a very clean, minimally processed whey isolate can be good choices. Always read the label. If you can't pronounce half the ingredients, or if it lists multiple artificial sweeteners, it's probably best to avoid it. Your gut will truly thank you for choosing natural, wholesome protein sources over chemical-laden powders. Imagine starting your day feeling light and satisfied, with sustained energy, not bloated and sluggish from a heavily processed supplement. Our next culprit might also surprise you: highly processed nut butters that come with added sugars and unhealthy oils. Nut butters seem like a quintessential health staple, and in their pure, unadulterated form, they absolutely are. They offer wonderful healthy fats, beneficial protein, and dietary fiber. But when you walk down the grocery aisle, you'll find a dizzying array of popular nut butters that are far from pure. Many well-known brands unfortunately add significant amounts of refined sugar, cheap hydrogenated oils like palm oil or soybean oil, and excessive sodium to improve taste, texture, and extend their shelf life. These added sugars contribute directly to the blood sugar issues we discussed earlier. And the unhealthy processed oils can be highly inflammatory, contributing to cardiovascular issues and overall cellular damage over time. The inherent healthy fat benefit of the nuts themselves is greatly diminished when it's swimming in refined sugars and damaged, unhealthy oils for our bodies, which are working harder to maintain cellular health and reduce inflammation as we gracefully age. Introducing these unnecessary additives can counteract the very benefits we're seeking from a healthy breakfast. The solution here is wonderfully simple and empowering. Choose pure, natural nut butters. When you pick up a jar of peanut butter, almond butter, or cashew butter, turn it around and scrutinize the ingredient list. It should ideally contain only one ingredient: nuts, maybe a tiny bit of salt for flavor. But that's it. If you see sugar, corn syrup, palm oil, or anything else you don't recognize or can't pronounce, gently put it back on the shelf. You might need to stir natural nut butters a bit because the oil naturally separates, but that's a small price to pay for genuine health benefits. You can even make your own fresh nut butter at home with a food processor if you're feeling adventurous. A tablespoon or two of pure, natural nut butter stirred into your oatmeal adds incredible creaminess, healthy fats, and provides sustained energy, keeping you full and satisfied until your next meal. Pair it with fresh fruit for an even more balanced and delicious meal. This simple swap ensures you're getting all the wholesome goodness of nuts without the hidden dangers of added sugars and unhealthy fats. Think of the peace of mind knowing you're truly nourishing your body, not inadvertently adding harmful ingredients. Moving on, let's talk about large amounts of chocolate chips or syrups. For many, a sprinkle of chocolate chips or a drizzle of chocolate syrup seems like a harmless, even delightful way to make oatmeal more appealing. A little treat to start the day. But let's be honest, these aren't typically a source of nutritional goodness. Most chocolate chips, especially milk chocolate varieties, are loaded with sugar and unhealthy saturated or hydrogenated fats. Chocolate syrups are even worse, often being primarily high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, and preservatives. When you add a generous serving of these to your oatmeal, you're essentially turning your healthy, fiber-rich breakfast into a sugary dessert. This once again leads to significant blood sugar spikes, followed inevitably by energy crashes that leave you feeling tired, irritable, and craving even more sugar. These empty calories offer virtually no nutritional value and can contribute to weight gain, systemic inflammation, and energy instability, all of which are things we really want to avoid as we navigate our golden years with vitality and grace. The occasional small indulgence might be fine as a very rare treat, but making it a daily habit truly turns a potentially healthy meal into a sugar bomb. If you crave that rich chocolatey flavor, which is perfectly understandable, there are much healthier and, frankly, more sophisticated ways to achieve it. Instead of sugar-laden chocolate chips, try a small amount of high-quality dark chocolate. Look for 70% cacao or higher, which has significantly less sugar and a much higher concentration of beneficial antioxidants. You can chop a small square into tiny pieces and stir it into your warm oats, allowing it to melt slightly into a luxurious swirl. Or, even better, add a tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder or raw cacao powder to your cooking oats. This gives you all the delicious chocolate flavor without the added sugar and unhealthy fats. Cacao powder, in particular, is packed with magnesium and other beneficial minerals that support nerve and muscle function. Sweeten it naturally with a tiny bit of pure maple syrup, remember, sparingly, or a few fresh berries, and you'll have a delicious, guilt-free chocolatey oatmeal that actually supports your health. This way, you satisfy your craving without sacrificing your well-being, keeping your blood sugar stable and your energy consistent throughout the morning. It's about enjoying wonderful flavor without the detrimental side effects. Finally, we come to a pervasive and insidious culprit: pre-packaged flavor packets or instant oatmeal sachets. The convenience of those little pre-packaged instant oatmeal sachets, or the flavor packets that you simply stir into plain oats, can be incredibly appealing. especially on a busy morning when time feels short. They promise delicious, ready-made flavors like apple cinnamon or maple brown sugar, with minimal effort. However, if you look closely at the ingredient list of these convenience products, you'll almost invariably find them packed with a horrifying amount of hidden sugars, artificial flavors, artificial colors, and often, excessive sodium. The serving size might seem small, but the sugar content often rivals a candy bar or a sugary pastry. These ingredients are cunningly designed to be highly palatable, making you crave more, but they offer almost no nutritional value to your body. For our bodies, which are less forgiving and more sensitive as we age, this constant influx of processed ingredients and excessive sugar can lead to chronic inflammation, frustrating digestive upset, and significantly contribute to long-term health issues like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. They fundamentally undermine the very reason we choose oatmeal in the first place for its wholesome, natural goodness and its health-promoting properties. The powerful solution here is simple: ditch those processed packets entirely. Making your own deliciously flavored oatmeal from plain rolled oats is incredibly simple, takes just a few minutes longer than the instant varieties, and gives you complete control over every single ingredient. Start with plain rolled oats, not instant, if possible, as rolled oats generally have more beneficial fiber and a lower glycemic index. Then, add natural flavorings yourself for that warm apple cinnamon taste. Simply chop up a fresh apple into small pieces and stir it into your oats as they cook, adding a generous dash of pure cinnamon for a maple brown sugar flavor. Use a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup again. Remember, sparingly, and a pinch of cinnamon or even a hint of vanilla extract. You can also add a sprinkle of nutmeg, cardamom, or ginger for different, comforting flavor profiles. Fresh fruit like berries or sliced peaches also provides natural sweetness and beautiful flavor as they soften in the warm oats. If you want a creamy texture, consider a splash of unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. By taking control of your oatmeal, you're not only avoiding a cocktail of harmful additives, but you're also enjoying a fresher, more nutritious, and truly delicious bowl of oatmeal that genuinely supports your health. You'll be amazed at how much better natural flavors taste and how much more vibrant and energetic you feel when you cut out these hidden processed ingredients. Next, we'll bring all these insights together and empower you with a truly nourishing approach to your morning meal. As we wrap up our conversation today, I hope you've started to see your morning bowl of oatmeal in a new light, understanding just how much power you have to transform it from merely a breakfast staple into a true cornerstone of your daily health and vitality. We've journeyed through 7 common companions to oatmeal that, while seemingly harmless or even healthy, can surprisingly turn this nutritious grain into something less beneficial, or even detrimental, for your body. Especially as we gracefully age, we've learned about the hidden dangers of excessive added sugars and artificial sweeteners, which can send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride and disrupt the delicate balance of your gut microbiome. We explored how certain dairy products can cause digestive distress and systemic inflammation for many, encouraging you to explore kinder, plant-based alternatives that agree better with your body. We also saw how large amounts of dried fruit, despite their wholesome appearance, can pack a concentrated sugar punch that undermines your health goals, and how even well-intentioned protein powders can bring unwanted artificial ingredients to the table if you're not careful about reading labels. We looked at the often overlooked culprits like highly processed nut butters, brimming with added sugars and unhealthy oils, and those seemingly innocent chocolate chips or syrups that can quickly turn your breakfast into a sugary dessert. And finally, we uncovered the surprising pitfalls of convenient prepackaged flavor packets and instant oatmeal sachets, which are often loaded with hidden sugars, artificial chemicals, and excessive sodium, completely undermining the very health benefits you seek from wholesome oats. It might feel like a lot to take in, or perhaps even a little disheartening to learn that some of your long-standing habits might need adjusting. But please, don't feel overwhelmed or discouraged. Remember, this isn't about rigid perfection. It's about conscious progress. It's about making small, mindful changes that accumulate into significant, life-enhancing improvements in your health and happiness. Your body is an incredibly resilient and responsive marvel. Even tiny shifts in what you choose to put into it can lead to noticeable and wonderful differences in your energy levels, your digestion, your mood, and your overall sense of well-being. Think of it as empowering yourself with vital knowledge, giving yourself the incredible gift of a more vibrant and comfortable daily life. You're not cutting out oatmeal. Quite the opposite. You're simply elevating it, making it work even harder for you, making it the truly nourishing, health-boosting meal it was always meant to be. This is about nurturing yourself, honoring your body's evolving needs as it matures, and ensuring that every spoonful contributes positively to your golden years, making them truly golden. I'm so genuinely curious to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these issues with your own oatmeal habits? Or perhaps you've already made some of these changes and felt a remarkable difference in how you feel. Share your experiences, your practical tips, or your very favorite healthy and delicious oatmeal combinations in the comments below. Your insights and your personal stories are invaluable, not just to me, but to this wonderful, supportive community we're building here. We can all learn so much from each other, supporting one another on this incredible journey towards better health and happier living. It's a wonderful way for us to connect, share wisdom, and grow together, sharing what truly works for us individually. If this video has resonated with you, if you found these insights helpful and practical, or if you simply enjoyed our chat today and feel more empowered, please do give this video a thumbs up. Your likes truly help us reach more people who could benefit from this information, spreading the word about simple, effective ways to live healthier and feel better. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical, easy-to-understand advice and inspiring insights specifically tailored for living your best life at every age. Don't miss out on future videos designed to help you thrive, feel truly great, and enjoy every moment of your beautiful journey. Remember, every single day is a new opportunity to make choices that serve your highest well-being. You have the wisdom, the rich experience, and now, even more knowledge to make those choices truly count. Embrace these small adjustments, listen carefully to your body's signals, and celebrate every single step you take towards a healthier, happier you. You truly deserve to feel your absolute best, vibrant, energetic, and full of life. No matter your age, keep nourishing your amazing body and your wonderful spirit, and continue to live your best life with abundant joy and vitality. At every age,